Screaming Demons RC, SDRC, back in the shop again. We're continuing on with this VITAVON bike build here, the Promoto bike build. I've got a couple more things to install. I was going to do this video, I was going to do the chain and the exhaust pipe, but I think I'm going to do the gears, transmission gears, and the transmission gear housing. Because basically to do the chain, I'm going to have all this done anyway. So I figured this is just the next step. So I'm going to have to take off the rider, take off a couple of the side plates and things like that. So I'm going to get into it. I just wanted to show you these gears. They're really nice. You can see them here. This is the spur. There you go, 30 tooth, 40 tooth, and the 50 tooth. So, and here is the housing case, VITAVON housing case. That's 7075 aluminum. Comes with all mounting hardware you need. The frame is here on the back. It's already mounted to it. I'll need to take off the frame off of mine, and it mounts to the my carbon fiber frame. If your bike is stock, it mounts to your aluminum chassis plates. And that piece will go on there. It's going to take a bit to get off because to get to these screws, they're on the inside here. So I might have to take off a few things in my bike to get to this. It might be a bit of an extensive teardown to get this piece put on, but it's going to be definitely worth it. I already took pictures and did all the weighing of these parts, so I'll show you those here in the screen just in a second here. Alright, well, I'm going to start tearing this rider apart and off here. You guys don't have to watch all this. I'm not going to record all that. It's basically just easy maintenance. If you don't know how to take off your rider and stuff, you can look back in my videos or go to Losi's YouTube channel for that. But I'm going to get this all pulled apart down to the key components we need to get to change here. So, alright, as you can see, I've taken off the side plate here. I've taken off the plastic cover here. I've got those sitting just to the side here, and all the mounting hardware here in a magnetic bowl. I've got the gears out. I still have to I took out the pin for the front sprocket. What I'll do now is I'll go to the other side of the bike and I'll remove the shaft for that, and I'll show you on the other side, because you have to take off the chain and to get the shaft out, you have to take off the sprocket and all that stuff. So just one more thing that had to be done. I'm going to flip the bike around and show you the rest on the other side. Alright, so what I can do now is this is all disconnected. The pin is out of the sprocket, so I can hold the sprocket on the other side, pull this shaft. The swing arm will probably drop down a bit because this is what holds it in place. Nicely just pull this out. I can feel my front sprocket is already dropped off the other side. Okay, there's that shaft out. I'll put that down. I'll grab the sprocket in my hand, put it over with the rest of the parts. I'll put it with the rest of the parts here. Okay. All right, to change all three transmission gears, you can see here's the three gears here. Here's your spur. The next one, I'm not sure what they would call that. Maybe idler. I'm not sure what they would call that. And here's the gear that goes onto your shaft that goes through your swing arm to your front sprocket on this side. So basically there's a nut here. You got to undo that, pop off that. It's all quite simple to change. Undo your slipper spring with the nut here. Take that apart, put it all back together. I'm not going to do it on camera. I'll show you what it's like after though, before I install it. All right, here's a good reason why you might want to replace your plastic gears in this Losi bike. So from the factory, when they installed this gear onto this shaft here, this is the one that goes through your swing arm, your front sprocket attaches on this side. So when they put this gear on the back side of it, it has a notch in it that's supposed to fit this part of the shaft on this side of the shaft. It's a grooved, you know, it's supposed to fit together nicely. Well, I guess when they pushed them together, they weren't lined up, so the metal shaft just pushed its way into the hole here. I don't know if you can see it on my camera, but the hole is not perfectly shaped anymore, and there's a couple of dents in it, and it had plastic nubs inside of there, so it wasn't sitting very good, and it definitely could have some slop. So you can see in my palm, these black pieces are the plastic that sheared off of the gear in there, not the gear teeth, but the inside here, when that shaft was forced into that hole at the factory. Obviously with a machine, I would say they did that, or I don't know how it would have done that, because it would have been hard to do by hand. Anyway, this is why you want to replace your gears, because they are, for one, plastic and going to wear out, and for two, if they were installed wrong, they're not going to be that good. They're going to be a little bit off, and mine, I'm not happy with that at all. At first I thought maybe they had meant to make it that shape, but then I thought no, and then I saw the plastic chunks in there that you can see them there, 2 decent sized plastic chunks off the inside of that. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. That's a good reason to replace them with the VITAVON gears. Alright, I got that gear placed on there. It fit really good onto the shaft. I did add a bit of lubricant to the spots where they're connecting there, to the keyed areas. They fit nicely. No wiggle or anything. The tolerances are very tight. Don't forget to add some Loctite. There's the nylock nut. I'm just going to make sure I give it a quick wipe. Wipe out the threads. Make sure there's nothing in those threads. Alright, just get that on there, and then I'll tighten that off the camera here. Alright, here's the spur and slipper unit all back together. Those nice VITAVON gears, looking solid. I don't think I'll ever have issues with this gearing going on, stripping or anything like that. It might be a little bit heavier, I would say, and obviously, and it's going to be probably a bit noisier, the gearing. I did actually change my pinion recently. The bikes come with a 20 tooth, and I dropped it down to a 17 when I was over at the Funk factory. Funk was playing with some gearing, and he figured about 17, maybe 18 would be a good area to start, so I went with the 17 I had in stock. So I'm going to test that, see how that is. I'll let you guys know. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what this slipper looked like all put back together. It's looking really good. I tried to adjust it back to exactly where it was, and so we'll see. I might have to adjust it when I get the bike running. Alright, I've got all the gears installed here. I've decided to not use this cage for right now, because to install this, I have to pull pretty much this whole side of the bike all apart to get to the screws that hold this little plastic cage onto the chassis there. That's this piece here, but this is obviously the VITAVON aluminum one. I will install this. I'm just going to do it at a later date when I tear my bike apart more extensively. But for now, I'm going to install the cover, this nice billet cover, over on top of the plastic cage here. It should fit all perfectly. I believe it was machined out exactly by the same dimensions and everything for the aluminum one. So I'm just going to put that on like that, and I'll show you what it's like when it's done. But other than that, the gears went together all good. They seem to mesh fine. And like I said, I already changed that to a 17 tooth pinion. So I'm going to have good torque and hopefully got rid of that bit of cogging that the motor was, we were feeling that the motors were cogging just a little bit off the takeoff. So hopefully that cured that gear reduction. All right, let's get this cover put on. Actually, I tried to use the plastic cage with the aluminum cover, and the aluminum cover wouldn't fit the plastic cage perfectly. I think it's just because the plastic has a bit more of like burrs on it and stuff like that. The aluminum is a much more precise fit, and so it wasn't fitting on there. So I had to remove this side plate, which was a lot of screws. You can see them here. I've made myself a box when I originally did the bike build. It says right side of the bike, Those are all the screws that hold the carbon fiber plate down, the chassis plate here. So I got that off, and I got the plastic cage, which is on the back here. I got that unscrewed from the carbon fiber chassis. Now I have to screw this one to the carbon fiber chassis. So I'm going to get that done, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, I wanted to get a quick shot of these VITAVON gears all installed here. I just have to set my pinion. If I'm almost done, I just got to set my pinion. And before I do that, I want to put this outer cover on here to make sure that this slipper clutch and spur is staying in its place when I'm adjusting my pinion so it's correct. Anyway, so I'm going to get that cover put on. All right, we've got that cover installed. It's looking beautiful. As always, make sure you put Loctite on these screws here because they're going into aluminum. You don't want them loosening off and losing your screws. Anyway, we're going to get that pinion tightened up and check that tolerance there for the spur and the pinion gap there. All right, I've got the pinion and spur gap set there. Now it's going to be a bit noisier because these are all metal gears now, metal on metal everywhere. We're going to get a bit more noise out of it, but we're going to get a lot better durability. And when that bike fires up and that inertia starts spinning around in there, them gears are going to be ripping, man. A bit more inertia to keep your bike up and going with that extra weight that be spinning around with all those gears. So if you want some heavy duty gears, check out those VITAVON transmission gears and that gear case, that gear housing to finish it off. All right, I've got that cover there that goes over the pinion all installed. It's just one screw. It's looking really good now. Real good. Let's have a look at that. Oh yeah, the fit is very precise. Goes great with that carbon fiber chassis and the matching VITAVON swing arm and all the other VITAVON components we have on this bike. Looking real good. All right, I'm going to get the rest of this put back together as far as I can. I'm going to leave the back piece off here because the next video I will be doing the exhaust pipe and the chain, the VITAVON chain and the VITAVON exhaust pipe in the next video. So if you enjoyed that video, you got something from that, please subscribe. That'll help me out. And throw me a like, throw me any comments, and I'll get back to you for sure right away. Other than that, I think we're going to be just putting this thing back together. So give me a couple seconds here and I'll have her done. One thing I did want to mention before I put this cover here, this is the side cover, goes on this side here. Before I put this back on, I wanted to mention this. When you get your bike, they have these little inserts installed. It goes right here. And what it is, it's a vent for fresh air and cool air to get into your bike for the speed control. That's where this one goes, right here for the speed control. It's exactly where it lines up. So I took the little insert out, you unscrew it, put that to the side. We'll save it for a later date. If you're going to run in wet conditions or a lot of small rocks and silt that might get in there, you might want to put that back on. I'm thinking also, I've seen people pop this back off. People have put in the inside here, glued in some screening or meshing of some type just to keep rocks and big debris, but still letting air flow into there. So I will probably do that at a later date. There's only a few screws to take this on and off, so it's plenty easy enough to do it another time. I'm going to get that put on. I just wanted to show you that little tip, and that's how I'm going to run mine, with them open to get more air into my speed control. All right, we're all back together on this side. I got the side cover back on here, and this is all buttoned up. This is all done, put it all back together, every screw and everything. I even took this wheel off here and added a bit of lubricant, light oil grease to that, because I had cleaned it before and it was really dry and it was squeaking every time, and when it rolled it sounded awful, so now it's much better. Anyway, I'm gonna get on with it, and that's it for this video. And like I said, give me a like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Really appreciate that. Thanks a lot, guys. And we'll be back real soon with another video with more VITAVON parts. Screaming Demons RC, SDRC, we're out.